I joined the forensic services, first of all, normally at the time, that was in 2008 thereabouts, we don't really get to choose where we want to go after internship. You're just sent out. But I had the opportunity to share what it is I really wanted to do. And I remember speaking to the director of medical services at the time and sharing that I joined medicine to work with the dead. So I wanted to do forensic pathology work. Working in a mortuary, and he was very confused for a minute. He said, "So you don't want a hospital setting?" I was like, "No, I don't want that. I just want to do investigations into crime and death." And so that's how I ended up in the forensic services. And of course, I prayed a lot for that because that was my dream. That was my childhood dream. And so I ended up working in City Mortuary. I was so excited. I know it sounds crazy, but that was actually a dream come true for me. So in 2012, I was posted to the police surgery, and up until then I had been dealing with people who were not speaking and who were dead, and you have to figure out what happened to them. And now I interacted with a very different group of people who were all speaking. Most of them were in physical and emotional pain and psychological distress. They could all recount what had happened to them. And that incident was like the beginning of a long journey of recovery and pain and distress and despair, because many of them were going to be involved in the criminal justice system, which means they go through court and all that. So for me, that really changed my perspective on things. I was very confused at first, like, what do I do with all this? Then I realized forensics goes beyond the dead. It's actually for the living as well. In fact, everything that takes place in a forensic medical space is for the interest of those who are alive. And so it really opened my eyes, and at the same time I had already joined a master's in forensics, which was dealing mainly with the living. I didn't know that at the time. And so this really worked out well, because now I could apply what I was learning to the living, and it would not have been applicable with the dead. And this I find very interesting because no one knew about it at the time that I was studying until I was almost through. So, I call it divine appointment, because then I discovered there's a whole field of people and science that has been completely untouched in our country. And so I call myself a pioneer in the field of clinical forensic medicine, which is for the living.